Well, hello, hello, and thank you guys for joining me on the episode of A Sister's Trust. I am totally excited about sharing with you a few things that's been going on. I've been in this R3 program, and I'm excited because I met a new friend that's a part of the program. Her name is Miss Kimberly, and she does a lot of great things, which, we'll learn together because this is my first time actually seeing her in person. And as I learn, I try to share with you guys so you can learn and we can learn together. So you know that we all been on this weight loss yo-yo journey for a long time. So I'm excited about the R3 program. I want to know what works for her and everything. So first of all, welcome, Miss Kimberly. How are you today?
I'm just fine, thank you. And I hope you all are too.
Yes, yes. So, well, one thing that stood out to me, you said that you have your, did you say you was a ministry of music?
I have been with R3 for about 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
I have a lot of health issues that started coming on about 10 years ago.
Mhm.
I had a chemical burn in my lungs uh, back when I was a very young woman. I'm 64 now.
Okay.
And the chemical burn has scarred my lung tissue. And then COVID hit in 2020, and I had to have it 4 times. I couldn't stop at 3.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that just irritated that scar really bad. It has blocked the oxygen to the blood flow to my lungs.
Okay.
And so that has caused my blood to, it's not really cancer like cancer on your skin or anywhere else in your body, but it's considered a blood cancer. And I have to be treated for that
Mhm.
because I make too many red cells. When I first found R3, I have Hashimoto's. I have had Lyme disease since before there was a such thing. Um, And so all of my health issues just started hitting me at once right around 2020.
Okay.
And I ended up having to go to if there was an ologist at the end of it, I have seen one.
Okay.
Um, and so, with the hypothyroidism caused by the Hashimoto's, I went from 125 pounds and healthy
Mhm.
to 180 pounds quickly, almost overnight.
Mhm.
And they've tried to treat it. I've tried diets. I've tried, all kinds of different things. But when I found R3, I found the answer. And I feel like that the good Lord led me that way because I'm doing a whole lot better today. Now, I did R3 and then I ended up in the hospital because I had my heart and stuff started bothering me. So I got away from it for a couple years, but I came back in January. On January 8th, we did a challenge. And on January 7th, I had to walk to my car to get ready to go to church. It's 300 feet from one end of my driveway to the other. I had to stop 6 times and hit my inhaler to get to my car to go to church on that Sunday morning. I did a mile walk before I came onto this video, and I'm not done with my exercising for the day. And
Wow.
I attribute a lot of that to the encouragement, the exercises, the proper eating, the supplements that I'm doing with the R3 program. If I had not been exposed to the R3 program, I know that I would not be where I am today. And when every breath that you take is a struggle, you appreciate anybody that helps you with it.
Wow. So you had a lot going on since, it's only 2024. So you have had a lot going on
I have.
since then. I could relate with the COVID because I got the COVID and I think it was 21. But with listening to the Holy Spirit, getting myself into the right place because I wasn't gonna get the shot. That's a whole nother show. But
Yeah, me too.
it, it was like I did things at the right time, and I was blessed that I was able to going to the hospital. I ended up with the oxygen and all that kind of stuff, but I survived. One of my symptoms right now, I'm still using the walker and sometimes to get around with the cane, just trying to get rehabilitated. So I understand, but you have a lot of things that's going on. And the encouraging thing about this R3, just like you said, is giving you the blessing and the movement, and you know, you're working with people. And you say you already did like a walk today, and you still got some more exercising to do. You know, and I
Yes.
noticed with have you noticed with like, because they focus on a lot about eating the proteins, you know, because we just did the 2 weeks of not putting certain foods in, and with eating the proteins, I could tell a big difference in the cravings, you know, and I could tell a big difference in your body, like you were saying, the breathing and
Oh, yes.
breathe a little bit, because you know, like when I went to the little seminar or the convention that we just went to, I had such a hard time at that convention trying to walk to point A to point B. But what kept me going was that I was really working with mind over matter, because I was stopping a lot of time just to rest. And
Yes.
what helped me was I knew that once I made it to a class, I was going to be there at least 3 hours. So like, okay, just get there and make it. And I remember thinking in my mind, if something don't change, I know I won't be here next year, you know, because
Yes.
I can't do all this extra stuff. If I don't feel well and my health is not good enough to do all this walking, I'm not going to do. So hopefully, you know, things will be, different, because I'm excited about being in the program too, because I jumped in the challenge, because I'm in another challenge that I'm trying to meet by October. So I said, if I could run with some people that can help keep me motivated for my October challenge,
Oh,
so,
yes.
so yeah, you encouraged me when you had reached out to me and everything. So I said, okay, well, and you said like you was a ministry of music, and we know that God needs to be the center of everything that we do, you know,
He
because it
does.
helps us to be victorious and everything. And I was sitting here thinking, he always tell us there's a time for everything, right?
There
A
is.
time for you to get well, share your story, be an inspiration to other people. Because a lot of times you never know who's watching you, because you just see yourself. But when you look back, you never know the people that's taken a little bit away from what you have. So maybe somebody that got the same symptoms or going through the same thing you're going through, you might encourage them that you could do it, not to give up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So you saying that you had some grandkids, or what was you saying?
Oh, yes. I uh I have 11 biological grandchildren,
Okay,
and I actually have stopped counting step grandchildren
okay, okay.
because I have some stepsons that have moved across the country, and we don't talk much.
Mm,
And I don't know how many kids they have, so I've stopped counting, but I think it's somewhere around 12 or 13.
okay,
And
okay,
some of my older stepchildren uh, have grandkids that have had kids, so I'm a step great grandmother too.
okay. Yeah, that's
And I
more adds
birthed
up.
four, but
Mhm.
I've raised in home, I have raised 16.
Oh wow, oh
So
wow.
I've spent most of my life since 1978, 79 being mom or Mimi or hey you or whatever.
Yes, it's amazing how we're talking about it's a time for everything, because I'm trying to help my daughter as she work, and it's like in this one family they got 4 kids. It's like, oh my goodness. And when I'm working and rearranging things, they're brand new, like it's a brand new day. And I'm thinking,
Hmm.
I done did my life. Am I kind of starting my life over? Is this like a forever thing? Because you're not gonna like give up your job. You know what I'm saying? Like, so she work an hour away and everybody trying to pitch in. So it's that true saying where they say it takes a village to raise a family.
It does.
This is really like more than just words. They range for they just one just turned 2, 4, 5, and then 10-year-old. So it was almost like starting over 5 years later. So we all trying to work with that. But I want to read a scripture, that's it's in Ecclesiastics, and let's see. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 3, and it says, there's a time for everything, a season for activity under the heavens, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to uproot, a time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to tear down, a time to build, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, a time to shatter stones, and a time to gather them, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search, and a time to give up, a time to keep, and a time to throw away, a time to a time to tear, and a time to mend, a time to be silent, and a time to speak, a time to love, and a time to hate, a time for war, and a time for peace. What do workers gain from the toils? I've seen the burden God has laid on human race. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has set eternity in the human hearts, yet no one can fathom from what God has done from the beginning. I know there is nothing better for people is to be happy and do good while they live. And that really made me think about a lot of times we could take on so many tasks and we take on so many things, and the way our minds, it could become a burden, right? But then if we change our mindset and kind of like sometimes we have to go with the flow because those things gonna happen, then we're better off with that, because it says that God makes everything beautiful, and even when I'm thinking about, you say you got the 11 main grandkids and you have all the other ones, and then I have the grandkids. It's a time for everything, right? You give out your love and you give out the passion of what you have to give. And it's okay because it's that time. And I think we should always just be grateful for the time that we get. Like, we're going to that convention. I was having a hard time, but I got to see the lady. What is her first name? Our leader for the R3. I know we got the one is Michelle for the workouts, and there's a few other ones that does the work. I hadn't had a chance to go to their classes, but they really been leading us. But if I hadn't went to the class or been at the convention at that time, I wouldn't have known about the challenge, the 6 weeks challenge.
Right.
So I was going through that time, but it gave me a chance to learn about the challenge and be in the challenge. And I could tell you that I've been feeling so good. I've been feeling good with focusing on the protein. I haven't even really been hungry. One time I was eating something and I said, "Oh, that tastes good. Let me just do it again." I went to go eat it. My mom was like, "No, it didn't even want to put it in." So I could tell something's working, and I got to learn how you add up the inches, because I know we don't do a lot of things with the weight, but we already did the weight. I did 8 pounds on this first part of the challenge, and I'm gonna wait. Yes, I'm excited. Yes. And so I'm gonna wait like everybody else for the next one. It's gonna be hard to get back on that scale because I was a little bit more, but when it came down to it, this is what I ended up with, which is still good, but it's like, okay, where my 2 pounds went? So they was talking about how your body fluctuates. So
Yes.
I to just, trust the process and just kind of go from there and everything. So how you feel since we started with our 6 weeks challenge?
Oh, amazing. I feel amazing compared to, even just the beginning of this challenge. I can see improvement. They actually had to decrease my thyroid medicine because my thyroid is not being attacked by the autoimmune as much and is starting to work again. And a lot of that's because of the healthy things that I'm putting in my body. And the fact that I'm not just sitting all the time, I'm exercising and drinking water and doing the things that, when God created our bodies, He created them with a plan, and healthy nutrition and proper exercise and sunshine and fresh air and all those things are part of His plan.
Right.
but we forget that, we fast forward it to 2024 and forget that where Jesus walked everywhere he went, except for a couple times he rode a donkey.
Yeah.
He didn't hop in the SUV and ride down to the corner store when he needed something. He went out and picked him a fig. So, we need to get back to eating a little bit more naturally and taking care of our bodies. But I feel amazing since I've done it.
Yes, they did a really great job, especially with the no list. How are you feeling about? I hadn't really put something in, like I really want to do. I just ain't made it to the store yet. I want to do the blueberries. Have you started I have like a little bit of lemonade, and I had some my husband bought me this tea, and it's made from real leaves, and first thing I thought was, this tastes so healthy. So I don't know if it counts as putting something back in, but whatever I put in, I'm not trying to start over. I feel like I know we're supposed to put things back in so that we can start being normal, or however that works, so it just be a normal life change and everything. Have you started putting anything in as far as your eating?
I did. On Monday, I went with my husband to the Mexican place, and we had 3 tacos.
Okay.
And that was probably, of course, I'm kind of experienced at the R3 thing, so I knew it was going to make me miserable, but I have to honor him. He's my husband, and that's what he wanted. So
Okay.
I had 3 tacos, and
Okay.
I felt it yesterday,
Mhm.
but I knew I was going to. What it did is the corn gave me gas.
Mhm.
Uh, but I wasn't miserable, but I knew that there was a difference in my body.
Mhm.
And today I'm going to have some strawberries with some GC control, and I've got the strawberry GC control and strawberries and a little bit of Greek yogurt, maybe a half a serving
Mhm.
in a blender cup, and I'm going to have that as soon as we're done talking, and
Okay.
that's going to be today's reintroduced.
Okay.
And then Friday, I don't know what we'll do. We'll see. I
Okay.
I I plan things depending on where I am and what I'm doing,
Mhm.
and I'm very careful because I know that it's my responsibility to take care of my temple.
Right.
And
And
no matter where I am, I've got choices to make, and the bad ones are going to hurt me, and the good ones are not.
right. Right.
So I have to weigh in the balance. Do I want to take this risk? What is this going to do to my body? Uh, my husband really also likes Chinese, and Chinese is so full of the monosodium glutamate and sodium. It's high in sodium, and
Mhm.
at 63 with thick blood, I don't need all that sodium.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have to be very careful what I eat when we go there.
Mhm.
But now when he fixes it at home, I just tell him just leave everything off of mine and I'll fix it myself.
Okay, so he helps to cook some of these meals, your husband?
Well, I don't like his dishwashing, and both of us were cooks in our former lives.
Mm-hmm.
And either, we when we first got married, he's later on in life husband. I was widowed. But anyway, he and I got married, and the fight began on the kitchen. And by the time I had to rewash his dishes a couple times, I decided I'd just do it myself.
Yeah, that's that give and take, or that fit in that time for everything, right? So,
That's right.
so I'm gonna figure out but it's like, I used to think when I was doing all this dieting, I'll get up and I'll think, why am I not thinking about food? It's like when you're trying to focus on something or do something change, all of a sudden all these extra thoughts come to your mind. And it's just
Hmm.
it's just like when you fast at church, right? You fasting for something. Now you might not be a person that don't even eat till 5 or 6 o'clock. But once you decide you're gonna fast, you wake up hungry, like it's
Uh-huh.
all that mental mind over matter stuff. It's like, okay, look, I want to have a regular day. I don't want to be thinking about, okay, when is the night going to end, or am I going to be eating? So when I was doing the liquid fast, which was every other day, I noticed that On my liquid days, I had no problem because my mind was like, okay, I'm only having liquor, so it was no thought. But then when I get to the food days, like I'm thinking about food, I say, okay, there is a problem. Because I was
Mm-hmm.
fine on the liquid days because I said it was only gonna be liquid. But now that I get to eat, it's like I'm thinking about, okay, this, and this, and when I'm, so it's too much. So it needs to be something like they're doing with the R3, which is natural, which I'm excited about because, like I said, with the protein, so I'm gonna put something in because it's got to be regular life. I'm gonna be good and not get on the scale, but I feel like when I'm on the scale, it could kind of gauge me of, okay, you need to not do this or you need to get rid of that or something. But I guess, okay, so I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna trust this program for the 6 weeks because that's taken out of my 4 months, right? And then I'm gonna see what happens because I may have to, we'll see. I'm just gonna leave it as that before I start making pre-plans. But so anyway, I'm excited about it. I'm gonna do it. I'm excited. And then I got on there and I said I'm gonna at least do I got like an exercise bike. So I'm gonna try to do 25 minutes of that for 4 days a week. I noticed that we have to do it. I think they try to say 150 hours, I believe they said, or minutes
No, it's 150 minutes a week.
a week in exercise. So I'm gonna work that out so that I don't fall behind. Plus, I'm sure, does that count with our workout class? Are those
I think, well, the American Heart Association and the American Diabetes Association recommend 150 minutes a week. Anything over that is just plus.
extra? Okay, okay. But I'm
So,
thinking about the rules that they put together to do it. Because I think they were saying for those of us who hadn't been working out or exercising to try to get up to that 150 that you're talking about. So I'm thinking that's so that would be some of those hours too with that 45-minute workout class, I would imagine. To
yeah.
add that in like a bonus. So I'm excited about that. It's just I'm excited, like I said, about being in the group because it's helping me to still move forward with other people getting the excitement of the time limit that I'm using. So I'm excited about that. And so I look forward to seeing all your success and, things that you post and eat. And I'm gonna have to try some of them recipes out, but look at them really good. Cause I like the one man in one of the Zoom said, hey, don't start like substituting one thing for another. So I need to keep a clean slate, but then pick and choose a few things to add. Like I think they was making the bread out of eggs and I don't know if it was
Uh-huh.
sour cream or cheese or something.
It's a cup of cottage cheese and 2 eggs, and you put it in the blender and pour it in a pan and bake it.
Okay, have you
I
tried?
haven't tried it yet because I like cottage cheese, and if I open it, I'm going to eat it.
I need to look and see how many calories that cottage cheese. And I don't want to like substitute one thing and then it'll be just one sandwich and I'm gonna throw all this stuff in. So I will look at that. But I'm looking forward to some berries and stuff like that. Like right now, I feel fine. I ate like a little piece of sausage to just get something in before I did my workout with Michelle this today. And I'm gonna go get something too, like you. And I don't know what that what you say, GC? Is that like a powder drink that you're gonna be doing today?
The GC control?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the GC control is actually one of the things that I like because it helps with the prediabetes.
Okay.
My at the beginning of this year, my prediabetes was 1 point over into the completely diabetic side.
Mhm.
And I am 1 point today from being not pre-diabetic, not diabetic.
Oh, wow, that's
And the
wonderful.
GC control, what it does, GC is for the glycemic, and the control means that it controls the way that your body uses the sugars. And it helps balance that out to where your sugar level stays normal and your insulin levels stay normal.
Okay.
And that's not just important for people who are struggling with diabetes. That's important for anybody who's on a weight loss or any other wellness journey because we don't need our hormones going all crazy. We women know what happens when our hormones go crazy.
Okay. Okay.
So that I'm not even, I have some here, but it's, I know that cinnamon plays a big part in that. I
Okay.
don't know if there's cinnamon in the juicy control or not.
Mhm.
Uh, but they're, all of the Melaleuca products are nature and science,
Okay.
and they combine the two to make the healthiest product available.
Okay.
And I have tried the cream brulee and the strawberry and the chocolate and the vanilla.
Okay.
And I have all of them except for the cream brulee, and that's because I used it all first.
Okay. Have you tried I think it was Attain? It was like another shake,
I haven't tried the Attain shakes.
but they
I
don't
have
sell
tried
it
the
anymore.
Attain bars.
Yes, I like the bars. Yeah, because I bought up a whole bunch of that strawberry, I think blueberry, vanilla, and
Oh,
chocolate,
they're delicious.
which sounds good. You know what? I might be making that in a minute. So, but it's not on the thing anymore. So I'm gonna have to eventually, I guess, change to yours and try it out. Because they don't sell it anymore. So, but I got it down to a science where it's actually like a milkshake because I was putting a little bit of ice. I put some of the almond milk in there. I put that and I got this little cup thing that you blend it and I let it blend it and it's like a real shake, put my sugar
Mm-hmm.
in. It was, I mean, it's really good. And I think the ice and the milk and the stuff, it makes it, get that motion of being a shake. And so it's really good and refreshing. So I'm probably going to go have that in a minute before I be piled down with 4 kids in like a few minutes. But I really appreciate you letting me be a part of your day and just really getting a chance to talk to you and just really, building a new friendship. It's always wonderful to know more than one person, right? Especially,
That's right.
and it's like doing life together with different people, and I'm just excited. So, and then, oh, what city do you live in? I don't even know where you live. What city you live in?
I'm in Virginia.
Okay, well, I'm in Lakeland, Florida. So yeah, so it's like knowing somebody across the country somewhere else, so that's pretty cool. And that's the cool thing about this program is like people are from all walks of life, all ages,
Yeah,
different places, and everybody still got the same goal of being healthy and wanting to live your best life. So
exactly. And the support is fabulous.
yes, yes, and now who put the program together? Who got the program started? Do you know?
Susan Torborg got the program started.
Mhm.
And it was originally, I think she's studied fitness and wellness in college.
Okay,
And she originally took it to the American Diabetics Association.
okay,
And the president that was there said that was the best plan for diabetes that he'd ever seen.
okay,
And so she had considered, marketing that plan to them.
mhm,
And then she had a change of heart and decided that since she, supported what the Melaleuca program had done,
uh-huh,
that she would rather show it to them first and let them see it. In other words, she wasn't just going to stop with one group. She wanted to share it with everybody because she felt like that God had given her the wisdom to know these things.
mhm,
Well, Melaleuca, they were very excited about it, and so she decided not to let it go to the Diabetic Association.
okay,
But they were the first to say that it was absolutely the best thing that they had seen.
mhm,
And of course, now even since I began back, I think it was either 2020 or 2021 that I began with R3.
okay,
Um, Even back then, to now, there have been so many different little tiny changes that make a big difference.
mhm.
And so I'm excited to see where it's going to go and grow because I mean, it's amazing right now. If it gets any better, I don't know if I can stand it.
Well, you could tell that she's a great leader and an inspiration. And it's wonderful that sometimes, you have different gifts. and she letting her gift shine, and it's shining to a whole bunch of people versus just keeping it to herself. And I think that, she'll be blessed with that too, just with, helping people to have a better walk of life, and, and new friends, and, it's gonna really, I think, blossom to something really big, and I do remember seeing her on stage at that conference. And like I said, that encouraged me to try, okay, let me try this R3 challenge. What is that? So, and I've been working a lot on perseverance. So I've really tried to make sure I persevere and got it done, because I can have a lot of things in my mind. If I don't write it down, and sometimes it might not happen. So I've been really working on, okay, when you're going to do it, just get it done, So I think that's one of these things with me getting up, exercise, go ahead and get it done. Don't say, well, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I'm not even promised tomorrow. I need to go ahead and do it today, and then let tomorrow take care of itself. So anyway, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you luck, like with your challenge. We'll keep in touch on Facebook, and I have you back on here so we can see both our progress and see where we at.
That's right.
Maybe have a few more people on here with us,
That would be great.
here and see some more progress with everybody. And we just really encourage other people together. So yes. So now we're United Sisters in the R3 challenge. So I'm excited. Yes.
Well, after I rest a little bit, I'm probably going to go do Michelle's workout, because I know it's good for me. But it's that early this morning, no, it wasn't going to happen.
That's the cool thing, like you said, you can always go back and do the replay.
And that it is. That's one of the many perks of what we're doing. And I failed to tell you that I studied fitness in 1996 and got a diploma in it.
Oh, okay.
And so this is not my first rodeo. I'm one of those older women that back when fat was Satan, and I'm learning now that it's, fat is so important for the brain and for the insulin regulation and all these things that I'm sick with. I probably did it to myself, but this is proven. We're doing something that has been studied and studied and studied and proven. So you hang in there.
All right.
And so anybody that would love to join us, I'm sure Angela can connect you with that connection, and we'd love to have you on the next challenge in October.
Yes, so yes, you guys can always write us, and we'll figure out, especially if you're on Facebook, how to get you connected. I think in the regular R3 class, they got the R3 plan, be a part of that, and then you'll be ready for however that works for the R3 challenge, being in the next group. So anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for your time, Miss Kimberly, and we'll meet again. And thank you guys out there for just taking time with us today. And thank you again for joining me on A Sister's Trust. And you all have a great day. You're welcome. And I'll talk to you soon, Miss Kimberly.